Hi everyone, this is Paris Debono of the Fortune Teller Shop. And in this video, we're going to be doing a reading for Meghan Markle, and we're going to be using bean divination Favomancy. Now, this video has two parts. It has an introduction to Favomancy first, and then it has the reading for Meghan Markle. So if you don't want to look through and watch the first part, just skip to the actual reading part. Hi everyone, this is Paris Debono of the Fortune Teller Shop. And today we're going to do some Favomancy. Favomancy is divination using beans. Now we start off with 41 beans. And I have my beans down here. You could also use pebbles or corn or anything small, buttons perhaps. But you need 41 of them for this divination method. Okay. I've also got a grid, and each square means a certain thing, has a certain meaning. So the first square represents your income, and also your problems about money. The second one represents your mind, your head, and how you think. The third one is called your hand, and this is your opportunities and your income. Then we go over to the fourth position, which is affairs of the heart. It also is problems if you have unfavorable number of beans. The middle square is your heart, feelings and love. And then the sixth square is your expenses as well, with money. Over to the seventh, we have here departures as well as new beginnings. And this can also be problems if you have a negative number of beans. This is called the foot, and the foot, it represents your travels and your journey, and whether you're going forward or not, or whether your path forward is going to be easy or not. And the ninth one is your returns, and how things will return favorably or unfavorably depending on the number of beans. So what we do is we get our 41 beans and we cut them in groups of 3, just randomly. Okay. And then we count out 4 beans and put them to the side. And then we have another 4, put those to the side. And then we have the remainder, which is we have 3 remaining. So we put those 3 into the first square or the first position. So we have 3 beans there. We do the same process for the rest of the pile. So we take out 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, put those to the side. 1, 2, 3, 4, and again we have 3. So we put those in the second position. Do the same to the third pile. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and we have 3 again. Wow. Well, that's a very good sign, because traditionally when you have 3 in a row, it means that you have luck on your side, and whatever your questions are will be positive. The answers will be positive. So that's sort of like the jackpot. So now we do it again. So we get our pile of beans and we mix them together, and we do the next round. So again, we cut them in 3 piles, just randomly, whatever feels right. And we do it again. So we take out 4. That's 4, 2, 3, 4. and 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now this time we have one remainder. So the remainders are, you can only have 1, 2, 3, or 4. Okay, it always has to be 1, 2, 3, or 4. Then we go again to the second pile. 4 and 1, 2, 3, and 4. And again, randomly, we also have a second number 1. Okay, we do the same process. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we have 2 in the third position, the third middle square. Okay, we do it again. Randomly again, and we do the same process. So 3 piles. Okay, and we do it again. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and we have 1. Same thing, middle pile. 4, 4, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we also have another 1. Last pile, 4, and we have 2 remaining. Okay, so now to read the squares or read the beans. Now, in tradition, number 1 beans, if you have 1, it represents communications, talking, letters, information. It also can be negative. If it's sort of negative, it can represent tears, and it can also represent emptiness, like not abundant. Okay, number 2 is not a positive number in this system. Number 2 can mean walking, travel, moving house, or going away, but it can also be indecisive, up and down, two-faced, and not balanced. Number 2 can also mean good or bad, depending on the other beans, number of other beans. Number 3 is the best number to get. So, well, like I said at the beginning, we had a row of 3, which is excellent. So when you have a row of 3, and it can be anywhere, any line, that means that your reading is positive, and whatever you're asking, your wish will come true. However, number 3 represents luck, love, happiness, and good things. So that's excellent. Number 4 is good only when the question is about plenty. Like, will I have plenty of money, or will I have plenty of love? Number 4 represents overflowing, but it can also be negative. And often it represents burden, sorrow, material possessions, but more in a negative burden type of way. It can also represent depression too. We don't have any 4s in this grid, so that's kind of good. So that's Favomancy, bean divination, and I just wanted to do that as a little introduction. This is Paris Debono of the Fortune Teller Shop. So this is the reading for Meghan Markle. So I've already laid out the beans, and I've counted them out already, and we're going to now read them. So as we can see, well, the first thing I noticed about this reading was that there was a lot of 4s. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 4s. Now 4 represents being full and having plenty of something, but it usually means depression, burden, sorrow, and darkness too, if you have too many 4s, which this spread has too many. So in the position that represents income and problems, we have 4. Now this would indicate that Meghan has the capacity to make good income, 1, 2, 3, 4. This one means overflowing but burdened. Plenty of. Now, when we look at expenses, we also have 4 beans. So this shows that she has the capacity to make a lot of money, but she also has the capacity to spend a lot of money and have big expenses. So it's almost like what she can make, she has to spend. Now, in her area of love, which is the 5th square, we have 4. So it shows here again burden. 4 represents too much or burden. It's too much. And also we have the affairs of the heart and problems. Again, we have 4. So it just shows a lot of burden around relationship, and this takes a toll. The 6th square represents expenses when it comes to money, but it's also expenses when it comes to emotions. So it shows that she's expending a lot of energy and emotion due to her relationship and her love life. Now, when we go down to the last row, the middle square represents the foot or the leg, and it shows your direction in life. And the 6th, 7th square represents new beginnings and departures and also problems. So it shows here that she's in the midst of a new beginning because it's starting off with 1 bean. So that's kind of like lots of news, lots of information, lots of talking. But number 1 can also mean tears, and it can also mean a feeling of empty because there's not a lot, so emptiness. So her new beginnings, perhaps moving out away from the UK, and also Harry moving away from the UK. There's new beginnings, there's lots of communication, but there's also tears and a feeling of emptiness here. Now, the 4 beans in the 8th position. This is her foot or travel or leg. The tradition says it's called the leg or the foot. That represents movement. So as we can see, there's again burden here. Lots of burdens. This chart has just got burdens everywhere. And responsibility as well. 4 represents heavy responsibility. Now, we finally have a 3. 3 here represents, there's a bit of luck. And this is the position of what's called the returns. So it does show that although the move, the new beginning and departures is kind of empty, it does show that she will feel better as time goes on about this move, but it will be difficult. Now, the last square that I didn't mention was this one, which is the hand. The hand represents what you can make or earn or bring. Okay, it's like what's in your hands. And she does have a positive one there too. She has a 3. So she has the ability to have some happiness and some good things coming to her, perhaps things that she can do and create and manifest for herself and her family. So I do see with her that she has the ability to create something and be creative, which is good. But there is the thing that I notice about this chart is that there's just too many burdens on this woman. So she's feeling rather burdened by it all. And I think her love life is suffering from it too. So that's my analysis of this spread. So that was Favomancy. And this is Paris Debono of the Fortune Teller Shop.